Okay. All right. Well then, I have to redo this all. Yeah, no, I have to redo this all now because I had this recorded and then I find out that it was actually an MP3 the whole time because I had my settings switched to record music instead. Isn't that so nice? Wow. Anyways, hello. My name's Cohen, but you knew that. Uh, but today we are making, well, not making, I'm showing you, showcasing my build. And yeah, hopefully you can learn some things. I'm just gonna be going through it and showing what I did so it can help you, maybe. But then again, I'm not a teacher. I'm not good at teaching. So I mean, just take what you will and, you know, yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, first off, I should go through sections first. So let's do the architecture. So I was gonna make an entrance. At first, I had no idea what I was doing, but one things I do. Let me go in build mode now. One things I like to do is I like to change my grid units. I like changing them to 0.1. So in case you don't know, it makes the grid move even smaller. So now you can do stuff like, let me see, stuff like this path. Yeah, something like this. And look how minuscule that is. But it adds so much like realism to it. It's crazy. So anyways, I use that in this right here too, as well. And then there's these stairs and other things. Other things. No, I just textured it, I guess. That's the other things. I don't know what I meant. And I added these. You know what? We're not going to get to the decorations just yet. Maybe hold on there. The fences are also did with the 0.1 grid. Everything here is either done with 0.1 and 0.5. Unlike the trees. The trees are different. Also added these little things on the top too as well to add that royal feeling. And did the little outlines. I like to do this a lot. So let me show you how I do it. Let me just add a cube here, and then another cube. I size it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just like random size it down, and then I do this, and it does this little effect. I love doing that, and it adds depth, which is very important for builds and realistic builds. So having something like this can elevate your building and make it seem more complex without it being too complex. Because all of the things you really need to know to build is, oh my gosh, that's right. Is that, is really depth. And, you just have to find a way to really execute it really well. So anyways, we have this circular thing. I was gonna add a driveway. Well, I was, but I'm not. Because I was like, wait, that's kind of impossible. But I did do this little driveway, I guess. If that counts. I don't know, because you kind of walk up the stairs. I used circular things and added textures. Because if you didn't know, textures can also be transparent. There's also an underside here and other things. And I used the circular one. Each texture is a different texture. Like each thing, it's to add, never go for the same textures on anything. Because it also adds realism, just like depth. As you can see here, I use different textures to texture my things. And these pillars are grouped too. That's another thing. Another important thing, especially with these windows and everything, it's important to have them grouped. And having them grouped can improve your place a lot and make it easier for you. Just like these fences, I wouldn't like I don't know what they're called. I don't know what this is. I just added them, but having them grouped definitely made it look like easier. Maybe it's not so realistic in terms of like compatibility, because it wouldn't make as much sense, but it does in fact work, and people don't really see up here that much, so it shouldn't matter. And now it's time for the lower porch. Up here is these carpets. Since it felt empty, I just added that, and carpets can really also elevate that, like, you know, not empty space. And also these tables, I combined just little hacks like that. These doors are also grouped, as you can see them being used over here as well. And more carpet, and over here the floor and the roof are very very stylistic. Like, for example, I just felt empty, and the walls as well felt empty. This room was like really empty at first, and I also added the lights. But I just added wall designs. Wall designs, you can search up wall designs. The best thing I do for my wall designs is as inspiration. Since I've been doing this for a while, I haven't needed to search this up. And I mean, it doesn't really look the best, but you know, this is just an entrance. Because remember, this is mainly about the stage. Everything else doesn't matter that much. We just need that main idea across. Everything else can be like complementary to the stage. Also, if you don't know though, the windows do not make sense. Like you can see, it's barely like. Well, I guess it's. I don't know. It's like it needs to be like right there next to the doors or whatever. See, this one kind of doesn't make sense because, you know, but it's also you can bring that illusion of, you know, having like a fake room, but from the outside it looks different than what it is from the inside. So you can just mess around with that too as well. And you don't have to explicitly make like a what was that noise? You don't have to explicitly make like an actual room. Just use that. Oh, anyways, yeah. The roof. Oh my gosh, why is it so laggy? No, genuinely, why is it so laggy? Wait, what? That is really weird. What? Why is it laggy? It's literally so laggy. I don't know what's causing that. Anyways, just gonna have to deal with 4 FPS, I guess. So this, though, the ceiling is, I thought it was also, in fact, empty. So I used a little, simple design to really, get the depth, you know, and also just like add like a little sort of realism. And there's these pictures and other decorations. We're not gonna go too much into that right now. Anyways, we have these things. You'll see them in this build multiple times, and they're grouped, as well as these pillars. They're also grouped. And this one too. Almost all the pillars are grouped. Yeah. So up here, it is in fact also over here. I like to repurpose some things because we kind of need to speed up the process, like of just like, you know, building sometimes, because sometimes it does get like a little tedious having to redo the same thing over and over. So I just decided to you know, group them together. Same with the ceiling. Yeah, I'm saying too much, but yeah. I found a unique design and having like a circular staircase. I wanted to redo something like this from like the real world and put it in like this little thing here, commonly used in like mansions. And then over here, the stairs and money and dollars to show that Nat is exceedingly rich. So sorry. Then there's the renders. Awesome renders. And I in fact did move the hallways. I need an counter. I'm not doing that, that's too much work. Okay, anyways. Yeah, I did in fact do the hallways. Did I just say okay? I grouped the hallways. And I tried to make an arch looking effect. I don't know if it worked. It kind of did. But it shouldn't matter all that much since the main thing, again, is the stage. And I tried to make that clear through everything else. And, you know, even though it is a mansion, it doesn't have any rooms besides the stage. Just like the living room. I was gonna put some couches here. Or well, I just thought of that right now. But you know what? It's okay. We can live with that. Anyways, yeah, we also we also added the dome and the giant disco ball. Well, now is the time probably to go into the decoration, so let's go ahead and do that. Now for what I wanted to do, I wanted it to seem like it's made in a forest outside. I think this may cause lag though. So I don't know. I do have them all grouped. That's why I'm so broke, as you can see. But I do have them all grouped. The amount of money though I had to spend on these is crazy. And along with the fence, yet again, I mentioned that earlier, but it did in fact add a little bit. Sadly, you can only have so much of these though. So I couldn't use too much, like all the way to the end over there. But it shouldn't be like too bad. Over here, we have the grass. For how I did the grass part, I put it under the little what's it called? The little texture of the texture block, and I switched the textures, by the way, from this grass to make it feel more like it's their land and it's not the outside or whatever. And it also just fit well with the grass already. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to use this. And I added little plants. I tried to not use the same plant, you know, and it had that little variety of like different colored of greens. And I just think it mixed really well with the texture. Then I added these garden lights because they're literally called garden lights. That's the only reason I added them. I was gonna just have spotlights. I did put it in the parts where it's kind of like dark, besides over here. I just didn't want to make it the same also, because this over here. Yeah, I added these lights too. I was gonna add sprinklers, but then I found out they don't have that, and it's really hard to mimic it without hurting your eyes. For example, hold on. Caution for this part, actually. It's really bright. Yeah, I was gonna use that, but that's really bright, so we can't, sadly. But yeah, you over here. Yet again, the table. Jerky. I wanted to make it like just like how, is it called a patio? I think it is, yeah. Anyways, I added the seat here. And the teacup. And the candles and the chandelier, because it was pretty empty up here and dark. So I decided to add those two. And of course, just the trees. We can't forget the trees. And yeah, that's it. That's it for the outside, at least. So now, for the inside, I added these two lights yet again. And these lights on the walls too, as well, with the benches. I really just had no idea where to put these benches. And the crystals. I added crystals like after, and I just thought it added to the fanciness of this place, so I just kept them. Over here is just the walls seem empty, so I just put them here. They're also, I think, grouped as well. Yeah, they're grouped as well. And I think that's really it for this part over here and the entrance. We can't forget the light and the pictures up there too. Anyways, before we do the actual main like room, over here we added two lights or whatever, and these little walls because it seemed empty or whatever, and this random light, actually forgot about it. Same as over here since we copy and pasted it, but yeah, it's just really, you know, important to have those extra details through your decorations, because when you build really detailed, you shouldn't need like too much decorations to really make it pop. And later we'll get into lighting, but because that's really the main part of this build and what makes it so like beautiful or whatever, is that it's the lighting. Anyways, hold on, I have to do something real quick. All right, and I'm back. Okay, so anyways, now we're gonna talk about the main room. When there's also these base lights. This one doesn't have it though, because it would intrude on the upper levels or whatever. So anyways, now we go to the main part. First of all, all these lights or whatever, they're just to elevate, like, you're in a rave, like, just to add that emphasis that you're like at a party. Rainbow effects, you know, and underneath are these little flamethrowers. So, and also a haunted light. My gosh, wait, what is this? I just noticed that there's this. I never knew that. We can delete it, probably. Yeah, it's probably best we do that. Anyways, yeah, we have these little flamethrowers. So they burn your eyes once they do a sound effect. There's also these two bass lines just to add, you know, also add emphasis. You're in a rave, guys. No, then there's these lights. I thought they would add, like, I thought they would just be cool. This is like a really early idea, and it works really well. You know, it's just that the fact that they're offset once they move, but it really isn't all that a problem, because once they stay still, you don't really notice all that much. And honestly, they just look cool and just in general, so it's mostly fine. And also the snow effect is also like just to add like fanciness, if that makes sense. Just to be like fancy, like, oh, it's snowing, or it's more like glitter for me instead of snow, you know. And the little stairways into the dance floor, I thought this is really common actually in my builds that I've used before. Now it isn't as so much, since I think I deleted all my builds, so I'm trying to rebuild everything. But yeah, this is just really common in my builds, and I just really like using it. And yeah, that's technically it for the main stage, actually. I mean, there's a curtain and the many signs. And yeah, that's honestly it about the place. Oh, that's right. Lighting. Yeah. Well, for the place though, it is in fact finished, but the lighting I have to show. So over here in the main place, it was a little dark, so I added not too bright of a light, but just really dark lighting. And the problem with fluoro lights is that they're way too bright, so I suggest turning it down so the viewer cannot like have their eyes hurt all the time, you know. And it also adds to the darkest areas. If you want the people to see the house, then you're gonna have to light it up. So I did this for example, on the sides of the houses, and added some windows along with the pillars as well, which you probably barely can see, but I still wanted to add that because it felt just like really important if I did. And there's also the little things down here too as well. You can't even see them though, but I still just feel like if I do that, then that's still like pretty good. I don't have it over here though. I probably forgot about it, but I don't feel like messing with the club right now yet. So, you know, but anyways, inside as well, this is the same thing. It was very dark over here, so I added these lights behind the thing. One is brighter than the other, only because this one was not enough. And over here, I don't know why it's in fact white. Maybe because of these lights. But I added one here because I wanted it all to have like a certain color, and the color they wanted was blue. Nat wanted blue as her mansion, so I was like, oh, okay. So I always try to follow a certain gradient. This is purple blue, for example. And, you know, I was like, okay, I can work with this, you know. And once you're done texturing, because this was all green and yellow and pink before. Once you're done texturing and then decorating, it all just starts to come together into one huge painting. And patience can really, like, you know, get you far in building as well, you know. And, you know, I was really lazy. I'm really lazy. I'm really tired half of the time too as well, but pulling through just got me through all of this. And for the lights in the hallways, these are different colors because I wanted to make it not too purple because it felt like it more purple than blue. So I did try and make it purple bluish, but it's more like light blue, light dark blue, just technically lavender, you know, just like this. But I think it still came out really well, and I think they're really happy, so that's all that matters. But yeah, if you do happen to come to the party, please donate. Or even when they just have the club open, just donate to Nat. But during the party, I will get it like all the party's funds during that. So this is like a you know what do you call it? It was commission. It's just like I get paid basically. I get paid from the Splash coins, and considering how my other builds I need help with, that's gonna cost a lot. So please, guys, please come to the party whenever it's listed. But you'll see that on Luna's channel. And yeah, I just hope you learned something today, and you also just have a great day. So anyways, yeah, bye bye.